everyone, this video is about flight paths as well as CGI images put out by NASA. So, as you can see here, we have flight patterns mapped out over a globe Earth versus a flat Earth. So on the left you have the globe map, and on the right you have the azimuthal equidistant, or AE map, which is the generally accepted flat Earth model. So on the left you see a general trend where planes that fly in the southern hemisphere and their point A is the southern hemisphere and their destination, their point B, is the southern hemisphere, they will still fly up into the northern hemisphere, which does not make sense from a efficiency standpoint, because it is not the direct, quickest way or path to the destination. So it's wasting fuel and time, because a direct route would, as you can see in the South Africa to Australia picture, a direct route would go directly over the Indian Ocean. That would be quicker and less of a distance than flying up into Saudi Arabia and then back down to Australia. So, but if you put it over the azimuth, the AE map is generally straight lines. So next picture we're looking at, it's actual flight paths using a globe Earth map and a flat Earth map. Where do you think we live? Shout out to deepinsidetherabbithole.com, David Weiss. He's a really good guy, and I think he's really funny. So as you see here, flight paths from Australia to South America, which would be much shorter just traveling over the Pacific Ocean. And they can, if they're scared of not having land, you know, they could fly over New Zealand. But they're, you know, when you look at this, they're really flying over a lot of water either way. So, but they fly all the way up to the United States, some even into Canada, and then all the way down to, what is that, Peru? Then you compare it with a flat Earth map, and it's basically straight lines. Then here we have just Johannesburg, South Africa, and Perth, Australia. Makes a stop in Dubai, but if you look at it on this flat Earth, this AE map, it's more of a straight line. Okay, and this text down here talks about how there are convenient refueling possibilities on Mauritius or Madagascar. In actual practice, however, most Johannesburg to Perth flights curiously stop over either in Dubai, Hong Kong, or Malaysia, all of which make no sense on the ball, but are completely understandable when mapped on a flat Earth. So now we're going to look at flight paths that should exist but do not exist. So there's plenty of flight paths that going over Antarctica would make much more sense than the paths that they take. But these flight paths that you're looking at don't exist because the map that you're looking at is an incorrect map, because Antarctica does not look like that. So now I'm going to get into the CGI images of planets. So we all have, you know, we look at the screensaver on our desktop, and it's a picture of, it's allegedly a picture of Mars. But it just because they put these things out doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to believe it right away. So in this picture you have NASA's official Earth image in 2012 compared to 2013. And it just doesn't make sense for the ball to be the same size, but the continent on the ball to have changed size so tremendously. It's essentially proof of a forgery. Now, we're gonna just take a closer look at this ball Earth image, just because I'm just not really buying it. And so when you zoom in, this is southwest of Mexico. You see all of these clouds that are exact replicas of each other. And I've never looked at the sky and been like, oh, that cloud and that, or better yet, that cluster of clouds and that cluster of clouds are forming the exact same shape. It's just clear evidence of copy-paste in Photoshop. And if you want to get even more into it, that's not speculation. Look into Robert Simmons. He is Mr. Blue Marble. You can go on nasa.gov, and he explains, he gives a live interview, how he photoshopped the Earth and added in the clouds, colored the oceans, all sorts of stuff. Now we kind of have the smoking gun. This is NASA's official image. They never called them photographs. They only released them as images, composite images, or pictures. So this is their image of Pluto on the left. And then you can see on the right Disney's Pluto superimposed over the alleged planet, and it just inclines me to believe that it's not real, because first off, Werner von Braun and Walt Disney were best friends. I covered that in a different video called "Does Anybody Not Work for Disney?" And Werner von Braun was the head of like rocketry at NASA, and basically Disney is cartoons for kids and NASA is cartoons for adults. And I don't mean to like be mean or anything. It's just I can have my like perspective, you can have yours, and we can still be buddies. And if you think mine's funny, like if you think it's funny that I put Pluto over Pluto and it like fits, then we can laugh at it. And it's like I get to vent about how crazy I am, while you get to have some like entertainment. You know what I mean? So now I'm just gonna move on to this last one. It's just like something really curious. If the equator is the hottest place on Earth, then what about Earth's tilt? So our 23.4 degree tilt on the axis is a tilt in, I'm blanking on a word, relativity. So the 23.4 degree tilt is relative to the position of the sun. So that would mean that the equator is not actually aimed directly at the sun. So, like, if you look at the top left part of this meme, it shows Earth with the tilt and the sun rays going at it in a way that doesn't necessarily make sense. And in the bottom part of the meme, they put it over the AE map, and it basically makes just perfect sense to me. So I hope you all have a good day, and I hope that I at least got you thinking, and got you open to a new perspective, and just a little food for thought. Thank you for listening, everybody. Goodbye.